I'm here to do a information session, some theta healing downloads for you guys, and a great opportunity for you guys to ask any questions if you are curious about my 6-week program that I have coming up, and we start on Thursday. Yay! And if you would like to join, but you're not able to get in by the start of Thursday, that's okay. You can jump in after we start because you can catch replay. So let me know if you can hear me okay. I want to make sure that you can. And so what I'm going to do is do some clearings for you guys based on anything that you have going on specifically. And we're going to kind of work through some of the modules that we'll be working on in our program. So one great thing that you have is 2 1-hour calls with me during the program. So it's up to you when you want to schedule those calls, but it's really important that you plan out your calls based on where you are. So if you're struggling with a certain thing that you want to work through, then it's perfect because then you'll get extra support with me. So again, feel free to share anything that you have going on and we can do some clearings around that. It doesn't matter if it's related to money or career, it's all related. Also, let me know if you're already in your ideal career. Let me know if you enjoy your job, maybe what your hobbies are, what your passions are. Do you know what your gifts are? Do you spend time grounding? Do you spend time working through your feelings when you feel certain things? Are you spiritual? Do you feel balanced, etc.? Just let me know. So aside from getting 2 1-hour calls with me, and each call is valued at 222, so that's really great if you're a person who's looking to get some coaching and healing and clearings, and you want to get the extra support in the group. So nobody is responding. That's okay. I didn't plan on coming on here when I did so, but something felt right. I just wanted to kind of wing it. I didn't want to come in with a plan at all. And so the other thing that we have is a private Facebook group, so that all we have to do is just share things in that space. And then you'll also get some healing clearing around that. So, what I do is I take a lot of the information that you provide on the Facebook group, and that's how I kind of create a lot of the information that we work on because it's then tailored to you guys, which is really great. So we're going to do 6 modules. And if you want to book a 30-minute free call with me, if you have more specific questions and you're not able to share or catch this, then reach out to me and we can discuss things. I have payment plans as well. There isn't any interest on that currently. Moving forward, my programs will be that you'll have to pay with a credit card, that you'll have automatic payments coming off of your card, and then of course interest, and you'll have to sign a contract and all that stuff. But right now, I've been really working on the honesty policy. There's only been one person that didn't go over well with, and I'm still waiting for payment. So if you're watching this, please inbox me. I'd really appreciate it. But because of that circumstance, now moving forward, I really trust all the people that are in our program currently. But that being said, moving forward, I'm going to have to do things differently. So, this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of the fact that I'm really flexible right now in terms of how I do this program because lately I've been working on money and abundance and things like that. So, I felt like it made sense for me to want to help people out if they're not where they want to be financially, but the whole point of the program is to get there. So I'm going to support you in that. So I'm going to support you every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. And so we do this for 1 hour over Zoom. For people that know me, I tend to do extra. So if you need to leave after the 1 hour, that's fine. But just keep in mind that we could go over as well. It depends on how involved we're getting. It is over Zoom, so it will be then live on Facebook as well. So if you don't feel comfortable coming onto Zoom, that's okay. If you don't have time to show up for the calls, that's okay. You still get all the healing clearings and downloads. So the more energy you bring to the situation, the better it is. So kind of what I'm doing right now, if you're watching, I'd really appreciate you sharing again what I already said at the beginning, anything that you have going on. All right. So we are doing 6 different modules. So what will happen is you will get a video about that module or anything that I would recommend based on the group. So what I do is I channel energy for the group, and then I offer things that would I feel like would be beneficial to get you moving in the right direction. And so then that will be posted on our Facebook group. So that'll give you a chance to work on some things. And then based on that, you can, or with whatever you already have going on, you're coming into the call and we're going to do clearings around that energy. Okay. So you're going to get a lot out of this. So aside from getting support from me, you'll also get support from your people in the group as well. And so it's really cool how everybody kind of just tends to really support each other, that sort of thing. We celebrate our wins. So as you're going along, then we can kind of celebrate all these awesome things that have come from the healing. So it's really great if you can get clearings each week because, and then also the one on one support, because if you're really dedicated to moving forward, I would say these group situations are the best way to go. I know I'm in a program right now that is so beneficial because it keeps me accountable. It keeps me really focused on what I want to clear. Plus, I do my own clearings, which is really great. And so, right now, I'm currently creating an entire website. I'm doing all of my own books. I'm creating a nice office space. I'm creating a product line. I'm creating boundaries and kind of what I was just sharing about, how I'm structuring things. So what's really cool, I also took a really amazing program recently, which I'm still catching up on because sometimes I just get the replays and I don't participate. Again, it just depends. And what's really cool is as I'm going through that program, I'm probably going to be taking a lot of the things that I've learned from that one and then start really applying that. So as my clients are evolving, you guys are going to get the benefits like of everything that I'm learning and that they're learning, and it's really really cool how quickly we can rapidly move forward. And so my first program was oh, I'm having a brain fart. My last program was attraction, and my first program was center yourself. And now we're coming into the energy of income. And so, center yourself was all about inner child work, grounding, speaking your honesty. So, working on the throat chakra, working on the heart chakra. A lot of people with heavy hearts, things like that. Working on the chakras, how to balance them, working on again expressing yourself, so learning how to trust that intuition. And I'm going to be selling the digital copy of that program as well. So once my website is all up and running, I have someone making a logo for me right now, and then again I'm creating the website. And so what you'll be able to do is go onto my website and purchase a digital copy of all the programs that I've created thus far. So you'll be able to get access to the Center Yourself program. So again, this is really nice to create like this foundation as I've moved forward with who I was attracting and what I was working on and what I was learning. You can kind of take advantage of that too. And again, you can do things at your own pace. And look how pretty the snow is right now. I just love it. So our attraction program was all about manifesting and all about money. So that program again is different because the first one's very much just about like connecting to yourself. And then the attraction program is really about thinking about where you want to go, who you want to be. And that can be a bit of an interesting roller coaster because we start to become more aware of ourselves in a different type of way than center yourself. It was more about really 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 knowing what your heart desires. And so if that is you say you really do want $1 million and that's what you want, we start to identify with, okay, like what does that lifestyle look like for you? So do you have a car, do you have a partner? And we start to really dabble into some deeper things when we realize that we technically we get what we want when we're kind of content and happy with what we have. And so that's kind of an interesting program I find. So it's really for people who are willing to kind of do the work to get there and understand what that takes and how to, I think, how to appreciate life. And so until you actually do the program, then it doesn't make sense. But the key thing is you can purchase that digital copy when it becomes available, which is very exciting. Take advantage of any type of theta healing that you can get because this energy is really powerful. So all you have to do is say yes. You're saying this out loud, you're saying this by typing, or you're saying it in your head. But when we actually go to speak something, that's when it becomes more real. The other thing too is when we receive energy, just keep in mind that it takes time for things to change. It takes time for things to shift. So when you want something, then you have to be willing to kind of do the work that comes with it. So for instance, you say that you want like to lose weight, but then what we end up doing is releasing the stress, releasing the emotional pain that's come from the judgment that you've placed on yourself for being overweight. And so what it really does come down to is it's sometimes it's different than the work that you think it is. You might think, "Oh, all I have to do is start exercising." Well, if you keep um repeating the same emotional patterns, then you could be doing all the exercise and actually be gaining weight, and then that make you more frustrated and angry. So if we don't understand the underlying issues, and that's where I come in, because trust me, trying to do your own healing and doing your own work is really, really hard. And a lot of people think that they can do their own healings even if they're a healer, and that's great. I'm sure you can, but it's also really nice to pass that over to somebody else that can, again, channel that energy for you, take the weight off of you from having to think so much and having to feel so much, and just make it really like simple and easy, because we don't always have a clear picture of of our of our future until somebody actually can start showing us why we feel the way that we do, right? And then not just that, clear and release it. So I'm going to be doing some Akashic records. I'm going to be doing some Reiki and, of course, theta healing because that's a big part of the clearings. And so, plus, we're going to be doing a lot of intuitive, I'm going to be doing a lot of intuitive work because I'm going to do whatever I can to help you. So that being said, the first module is working on our gifts. And so that's why I was asking people to comment. If you have a gift, do you know what your gifts are? Keep in mind that we're using gifts as an example, but what will come up is you could be coming in with any issue. We're just going to specifically, when I get into discussing the module, it's more about like what do you feel like you're here to do? What do you feel like you're meant to do? And so when we think about gifts for myself, I have a very strong artsy side. So this could be sad for me that I've held off so long with using my artsy side. Okay, so this is just an example. And the because if nobody's here, I guess I can work on myself and you can see how it works. And then the positive side, so we always want to kind of look at where we want to go with it. But the positive side is I am going to be spending more time on myself, just dabbling in the things that I enjoy moving forward. Okay, because that's what comes up. So I would say, all right, so why did I feel sad that I wasn't using my artsy side? Well, it's just because again, fine now finances are coming up. It's because I felt like when I wanted to go to art school, kind of felt like all I could become was maybe like an art teacher. And so, and it felt like that wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do with my creative side, right? And then it triggers me also like having a writer side. And then also kind of like when I went into programs to pursue writing, it when I thought about like journalism, I was kind of like told by the people at like King's College that this isn't really a program for creative people. So and then I'm like, okay. So there wasn't really much. I didn't feel like there was a lot of creative writing programs where I was living, and it just felt like it wasn't very popular. And then I was told, okay, if you want to be a creative writer, that you should become like an elementary school teacher or something like that, and like write kids' books, something like that. So I've always been passionate towards kids, but it was more about like there's just this feeling inside, this urge that I had knowledge and wisdom that I needed to get out of me. It's like I couldn't get it out enough. So for years I felt like I was suppressing this beautiful energy, this gift that I had, because I didn't really have the outlet or the tools. That's what it felt like. Or I didn't have the resources, or I didn't have the support that I need, or I didn't have maybe the financial support that I needed for somebody to say, just go and do this. So for me, I felt like there was a lack of support. So now that I've discovered that for me, for my when it comes to my gifts, that I was just feeling a lack of support, right? And moving forward, what I know is I said I'd like to spend like time on myself to do some of these things. And so the key thing there would be moving forward that it's like that I feel like the universe supports me when it comes to me having enough time to just take that time to do it, and then I'm not running out of time, that nobody's taking time away from me. And even though I'm a busy bumblebee, it's also a choice that I make, and that up here I can decide to just breathe, to focus, and know that it's all good, that this is something that's actually going to uh, bring me money, bring me more health, bring me more energy, and it will also help me feed my heart more, and create more opportunities for me because I'm focusing on myself. Okay. So, would you like to let go of feeling like there's a lack of support? And for me, I'm going to let go of all of those things that I just said, of feeling like I tried to do this and it didn't work, and I was told this and then this happened. So, that would be my story. Okay. So, I'm going to clear and release my story. And I'm going to replace that with trusting that there is enough energy for everybody, time wise, support wise, so that I can do the things that I really want to be doing when I want to do those things. And if you would like that for yourself as well, just say yes. So say yes. Okay. Um, I'm getting conceited energy, cocky energy. And I feel like sometimes this is so what I'll do is I'm asking for that energy to be cleared, and then I'll get the layer, okay? So I'll hear words, I'll see things, whatever it is, how I use my clairaudience, my clairvoyance, etc. And so what that's really cool, because then we can that's how we start to kind of clean up the energy. But when we're doing group sessions, plus I'm working on myself, it becomes really interesting, but I like a good challenge. And but again, if you relate to this later, I really appreciate you sharing, because that's the kind of stuff that motivates me to take the time to come on here. And so what's coming up is like balance, right? Because balance is really important as we're talking about money and time, and also feeling supported, that there is enough money, that there is enough time, that you can even do the things that you want to be doing, or you can even take time for yourself to like do this program to find out what that even means for you. And so what will happen is we have this like kind of balance here where it's like low self-esteem, okay, high self-esteem, and we want to be right in the middle. We don't want to be like, I don't have any confidence, because that's kind of what I was saying in my first program we started. The key thing about that whole program was building up confidence, right? Just to be able to desire, to want, to feed that energy. And then we have the overconfidence, which often is still another form of insecurity, because when we go and it's we can sometimes like prove other people wrong, We can do things for the wrong reasons, etc. And so that's what's really coming up is actually doing things for the wrong reasons. And so that makes sense as I was just talking about myself, and I'm sure this is relating to somebody else, that it's like I would, instead of being on my path, like actually doing what my heart was calling me to do, identifying with I had this energy that I needed to get out of me, um, I would then go and listen to what other people would say. And instead of listening to what my heart was telling me, I would again listen to what somebody else was telling me. So, what I'm doing for you guys is I'm working on empowering you guys so that you can identify with those feelings yourself. So, I'm not telling you what to feel, I'm not telling you what to do at all. I'm actually just allowing you to discover that within yourself. And then I'm helping you identify with that and move forward. Okay. I think that's really important. So, would you like to know that it's safe to let go of times in your life when you weren't on the right path, when you listened to other people, when you were told the wrong things, and you listened to people and it hurt you and it made you feel badly and it made you want to rebel, it made you become crusty, it made you feel unworthy, it made you feel negative, and therefore you kind of went and again did the opposite of what you actually felt like you were meant to be doing. And if so, say yes. Okay. And the other thing that's coming up is when you see other people doing things that you admire, like role models, things like that. But then it's like instead of seeing yourself that way, right? Seeing yourself as that courageous person, seeing yourself as that person who does who does what they feel like they're called to. Um, it's like sometimes we look at other people and see what they're doing, and it's like, wow, look at them. Instead of saying, hey, I can do that. So you're using other people as inspiration versus like lack of motivation, right? So do you want to clear and release times in your life where you saw that somebody else had something, and then instead of being happy for the other person or being proud of the other person or seeing them as inspiration, you actually made yourself feel badly about yourself? And if so, say yes. And that's deep. So let's clear that on all levels. Okay. And the other thing that comes up is when other people um, have put us down, but behind our back. That's not pretty. That's not fun either. So it's like when we're really sensitive, we can feel when other people are speaking negatively about us. And it's really, really hurtful because sometimes it's not what people say to you. It's actually what they're saying in their head about you or what they're saying again behind your back. So do you want to focus more on how other people are going to start seeing you as a role model and seeing you as a positive influence? And if so, say yes. And the other thing that's coming up is not everybody wants to do the same things, right? So one person might be like, "Oh, you should do this," whereas because that's what they did versus it being all about you. So when we are in group settings as well, it's really important to know that we're still working on everybody's needs. You get what you need always. So even if you watch a replay, you're getting that. But I think it's important to know that I don't I think sometimes people try to help us and they just don't know how to. So they're doing the best that they can, right? Sometimes our parents have done the best that they could and they thought that they were doing the right things. Even maybe your siblings, or if you're in a relationship and that person loves you, but they might be trying to protect you, or like everybody tries to help, but they just don't always necessarily, again, they don't know how. So one thing that I do is I can feel what you feel in my actual physical body. So that's why I've been doing a lot of clearing and cleansing myself, because working with a lot of people, I can feel a lot of their energy. So I do feel like it's really important for you to trust that everybody's kind of on their own path, and just know that. So would you like to know that you can release times in your life where other people projected their energy and put it onto you, even if they were meant well, just clear and release any times where people put their energy on you. And let's replace that with knowing that you can be your own individual person and learn to do things your way instead of other ways. And if so, say yes. Okay, well, I get the energy too of sadness. Um, and like sometimes people feel so much so deeply that like they feel other people's feelings, but then they also take it on as if it's their own. So if say they're around somebody with depression, um, then it's like they can again the energy can become muddled and we don't want that. So in the other piece of this is gifts and then grounding. So it's really important that when we're working on ourselves and we're going to be doing something about that moving forward, we can't let other people's junk get in our own way because if we're taking on too much of other people's stuff, then we're gonna start to go back to old patterns of, why maybe you didn't do that in the first place. So for myself, if I think about how much I've been through in terms of grounding, um, yeah, a big thing was my diet played a major role in how grounded I felt. When I was younger, I was very, very intuitive and very sensitive to what I put in my body. And as I got older, um, I stopped listening to that because I felt like I didn't have like free will and choice in what I was putting into my body. Um, and so that made me feel sad because I felt distracted from what I felt like I was meant to be doing, which actually was, I think, even when I was young, I was supposed to be working with energy. I think I was supposed to be like teaching people even at a young age. And I do feel like I did, but a big thing was I didn't feel heard and I didn't feel respected because I didn't feel heard. And let me know if you relate to this. And so moving forward, what I would like is for to be able to teach, to be able to offer people teachings, and for people to be able to also trust and listen to themselves as well. So as I was already saying that there's an offering, but it's also for people to understand themselves as well. And so that's the key component is we don't rely or depend on anybody. We maintain our independence, but we're also open to receiving. And I think that that's really important. So would you like to let go of times in your life where you weren't heard, you weren't accepted, you weren't able to make your own choices? So again, I'm going to let go of my whole story that I just told there, especially around diet. And I'm going to replace that energy with confidence, clearings, healings, showings, um, healthy perceptions, and a lot of self love and a lot of grounding. And if so, say yes. Okay. And if you don't really know what your talents are, that's what's kind of coming up. Is that's the whole point of coming into this. A lot of people say, "Well, I don't have a business or I don't have this or I don't have that." That lack mentality. It's like, "Well, you're coming into this container so we can help you with that." Okay? So if you don't want to come in because you don't know what it is, the whole point is you come in. It's kind of like people who um were working on money, but then they come into the program and then they don't even listen and watch the program, and then they can't pay, but they didn't listen to anything related to the money. Okay, so you have to be willing to do the work. So because the excuses get old, right? And the only person you're hurting is yourself. So would you like to clear and release times in your life where you felt alone, you felt abandoned, you felt like not cared about, any lack mentality where you're like getting that empty feeling in your life. Let's replace that with trusting that you will sort out your thoughts, that you will sort out how you're really feeling about yourself when you're willing to accept yourself. And if so, say yes. Okay, what I'm getting is to show you guys like an energy ball, how to do an energy ball. So a big thing is you can charge your energy up by placing your hands, just feeling the energy. So some people might need to start really close. I feel a lot of heat. And then you open up, and then you go back, and you just try to feel the energy. You will feel something, but you create this energy. And this is how we can start expanding our energy, especially when we're not feeling grounded, not feeling connected. So what you want to do is go around your energy field to open it up and charge it, okay? And just trust that wherever the energy wants to flow, it will flow. So mine's starting to open. And it's like you're just seeing a ball, okay? You're seeing a ball of energy. Ball is getting bigger. And you're just opening up, okay? I don't know. I was just being told to show you guys this, so. You're just expanding that. So I'm putting my feet on the ground because in order to ground, we have to have our feet on the ground. And I'm just kind of like creating that energy. And it's amazing how much better you feel just by starting to work with that energy. Again, it's for yourself. Grounding is not for anybody else, it's just for you, which is really exciting. So again, these are some really basic tools we're going to be working on. It is where you are right now. Again, where you want to go. So we're going to be working more on spirituality in our third module, and really how to find that connection within yourself. So a lot of times we're blocked in the third eye. Third eye is right here, and we're blocked in the crown. And I'm starting to feel a little sick now as well. So when I say that, it's there's someone probably watching that's not feeling 100%, and now I'm getting a lot of chills, and I'm getting some like feelings of confusion. So it's so important that these two chakras are connected. When we get energy, like when you book a session with me, I'll line your chakras back up for you, remove a lot of stuff. So I would recommend when you get a session with me twice a month is perfect, when you're really coming in with serious stuff. And plus, if you're in, which is what you're getting with me in our 6 weeks, plus you're in the group, you're getting weekly clearings as well, which is amazing. So that's for people who, again, just really want to move forward. But when you're not spiritually connected to your crown, it means you probably haven't let go of things that have again that have happened to you in the past. So if you've never had theta healing, if you've never had Reiki healing, the Akashic Records is a little bit different. We're just going in and we're just kind of we're kind of getting answers towards like what would suit you best right now, past, present, and future. So that's really great too. Again, that's what I love doing that now that I know how to do that, and I'm doing a lot of theta healing and Reiki healing based on tapping into that, which is fabulous. So it's really nice that we can keep bulking up on those tools. So for you, if you haven't done any of those things, you're going to have a lot of stuff going on, and there's no shame in that. There's no harm in it. It's just the main thing is that you begin. So even if you're in a container with somebody who's been doing a lot of work on themselves and then somebody else who hasn't done anything, it doesn't matter, which is really great. So we just kind of start from that equal platform. But what's going to happen is, like, say you don't believe in any of this stuff, and you think that it's actually negative to do these things, if that's your belief system, then that's going to affect your crown chakra, right? Because it's like, okay, well, what are you doing to get centered, to get grounded, to find peace, to find harmony in your life, to find that balance? Because when we do these types of exercises, it can bring us back into our natural state. And in a way, spirituality in relation to the crown is bringing us back into that state of enlightenment, to recreate, to start something new, to start something fresh, right? The third eye, which is located right here, if we don't really listen, as I was already sharing, to that intuition about what you're meant to be doing, what you're meant to be. For me, it was eating. Even it does feel like I was supposed to have a job at a young age. Like it did feel like my gifts were there at a younger age. Um, I did work when I was like started working at like 11. Um, so I haven't really stopped working since then, but it was a different kind of work. Um, I definitely feel like serving the public was something that I did, but it's not always in the way that we want to. So you could be an adult, you could be 50 now and still not serving your own needs. And so you're when we work on third eye, it's we have to listen. And the only way to really listen to what our energy is telling us is by clearing out the energy that isn't serving you, right? So if you have all that sticky, stuck energy in your physical body, in your mind, in your emotions, in your spirituality, then imagine how bad you would feel. You must feel horrible. And I'm not saying that to judge or to criticize, but it's to inspire you, to get you beginning. Because I know what it feels like to have a lot of sickness in my own body, and I call mental health is sickness. Negative energy can be sickness. So this is a step that then just keeps building up. So asking yourself right now, do I have ways to connect to my spirituality, to find peace, to find balance? And that's what you really want to start working on in our module 3, is what are those ways? Because it's gonna make you feel a lot easier, like things are more natural, more flowing, when we're really looking to attract things in our life that we really, really want. It's not a desperation feeling, it's not a heavy feeling, it's not I need feeling. It's just like you just know, you have this internal dialogue, you have this intuitive feeling that just happens. And so we start to get in our head a lot, and that's what blocks the third eye and the crown. And when those are blocked, there's a good chance that you're doing a lot of self-doubt, you're doing a lot of questioning, you're doing a lot of suppressing. So as I was already saying, I would have this wisdom and knowledge that was coming up as a child, and it's like I don't have the tools, right? So that's what I'm going to help you with, is developing those tools. So I'm just going to leave it there with our module 1, 2, and 3. You can go into robinshealing.com and you can check out more information. Also, underneath my events here, I have more information. You can book a free 30-minute call with me if you want to discuss more things about this program. We're starting up on Thursday. I'm so excited. 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So if you're in the Eastern time, you're 1 hour behind, so it'd be like 7 p.m. So I think it's a reasonable time for people all over the world, because it might be your morning, or even around supper time for you. So I'm going to integrate that energy for you guys. So we're just going to allow all the things that we said we wanted to clear to be removed, and for all the things that we're looking to attract to come in or manifest. We're going to breathe that in. Take a few cleansing breaths. Feels good. And let's give you a general healing overall for anybody watching. Um, and that sadness piece is, there is someone in particular that could either use a one-on-one or join us. It, as I said, it doesn't matter how you're feeling, but music can be a really powerful way to tap into some of this stuff that I was saying, basically more of that spirituality side, because we can kind of ask for lyrics um, to come to. You could just say, spirit, show me a sign, whatever song is playing on the radio, like right now there's a message in that, and then you go and turn on the radio. So I would recommend doing that just right now. Just, whatever song is on the radio is a song that I'm meant to hear. Listen to the lyrics. I just feel like these are great ways that we can get a little bit more inspired moving forward, to make us feel like the things that we think are a big deal really aren't that big of a deal. Maybe we're not that far off of our path than we thought we were, etc. But it does feel like there's someone who has, like, a really heavy head, okay? So those are things I can help you with. Reach out. I really appreciate people who share this. If you think there are other people that could either benefit from these clearings, I'm gonna put them on YouTube as well. So if you're not on my YouTube, you can go into Robin's Healing Robin Jardine and find me that way, and I have tons of other videos as well. Hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see some of you guys in my group. Bye for now.